Brian. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan Donald Trump Jr.
Hogs to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics. Follow on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. Here is your host, Ryan Samuels.
Good evening, America. Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show. I'm Ryan Samuels, your host, fellow warrior for truth, family, faith, and freedom, coming to you from the heart of Florida, where we still believe in calling things like we see them. This week in a courtroom in Provo, Utah, is doing what the mainstream media and some voices on our own side refuse to do. Laying out the cold, hard facts in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, a young man who built Turning Point USA from nothing, who debated anyone, anywhere, who inspired millions of young conservatives to stand up and fight. He was gunned down on September 10th, 2025 at Utah Valley University while doing exactly what he loved, engaging students and proving the left wrong. The man accused is 23-year-old Tyler Robinson, who's in the middle of this week, is in his pretrial preliminary hearing. Prosecutors are presenting their case piece by piece, and the evidence is mounting fast. Tonight, we're breaking down the actual incident, the key evidence added this week, and why even smart voices like Candace Owens are missing the mark when they try to cast doubt on the identification based on one blurry angle. This isn't about rushing to judgment. It's about honoring Charlie by demanding the truth, not conspiracy theories that ignore the facts. Due process matters, but facts matter more. Stay tuned. We have a great show. We will be right back. So let's just jump right into it tonight. We're going to talk, first we need to refresh our memories of exactly what happened. On September 10th, Charlie Kirk was speaking at the UVU campus. He had private security, as all of his events often do, and around 12:23 p.m., a single fatal shot rang out, and Charlie was killed almost instantly. Investigators quickly zeroed in on a rooftop or elevated quote-unquote sniper pad position nearby. A rifle was later recovered in the wooded area. That's the basic timeline the public has known for months. But this week's preliminary hearing on day 1 and 2 has brought the evidence into sharp focus. Prosecutors aren't just alleging, they're showing the receipts. There's been a lot of key evidence presented so far. Number one, this is things we've never heard of and never seen. There's a surveillance video goldmine. Multiple clips show a male identified by investigators as Tyler Robinson arriving on campus in a silver Dodge Challenger. He's seen interacting directly with members of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's group, just hours before the shooting. He's walking around the campus with a noticeable limp, consistent with concealing a long rifle like the .30-06 recovered in his pants. He accesses the rooftop area. Then after the fatal shot, he flees the scene The new footage played in court this week reportedly showed rooftop activity and post-shot movements of Tyler Robinson. The judge visibly reacted when the actual shooting video was shown. Forensics has come out and has tied all of the evidence together. DNA consistent with Robinson on the rifle trigger, casings, and towel wrapped around the weapon. Additional items like a screwdriver from the roof, shoe impressions, deep GPS data, and phone records placing him at the scene. Ballistics on fragments were inconclusive for a perfect match, but didn't exclude the recovered rifle. There's also other evidence. An alleged note to a partner or associate referencing the opportunity to, quote, take out Charlie Kirk. Text showing negative views towards Kirk. Robinson reportedly surrendered after his family saw the news coverage. This is just a preliminary hearing. And in the state of Utah, anybody who's going on trial for murder, they get a I can't say the word today, a preliminary hearing to ensure that there is enough evidence to actually get a conviction before the court will even take the case. That's all this is, right? State of Utah has this requirements, one of the very few states that have it. They have to show that, yes, we have enough information to actually convict this individual. The evidence is not beyond a reasonable doubt. The standard is the bar is only probable cause, not beyond a reasonable doubt. But the web that they're weaving is strong. The video timeline plus physical evidence plus statements. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room here. And the elephant in the room, which has been a thorn in the side of me and many other conservative casters, is Candace Owens. Candace has made some serious accusations that are just systematically wrong. Not even close to right. Skepticism is healthy, especially in high-profile cases. I'm not saying that. But she takes a photo of one grainy angle and says it's misleading due to camera distortion. She's outright calling Tyler Robinson innocent. She has said that Erika Kirk is colluded with Israel or is involved in her husband's murder, with no evidence to back it up. And she's going to be in a lot of trouble because once this case gets released, once Tyler Robinson is convicted, and there's a high probability that he will be convicted, there's an even higher probability that he will face the death penalty and be killed for his crime. Once all of the criminal aspects of this case is over and it's proven in a court of law that Tyler Robinson did in fact do this without colluding with Israel or Erika Kirk, then the civil lawsuits are going to come. And I don't think Candace even knows what she's getting herself into. She's already being sued by the Prime Minister of France. It's costing millions of dollars because she lives on hyperbole that's just not true. She used to work for Turning Point USA. There were text messages released that Charlie didn't want her there anymore, that they pushed her out, that they fired her because she was a problem then. Then she got hired by the Daily Wire. She gets pushed out and fired from the Daily Wire for the same thing. Basically not seeking the truth, doing things for clicks, making things up. But the preliminary trial for Tyler Robinson is showing exactly the full picture, and it's proving Candace wrong at every turn. And she looks like an idiot. So today she took to Twitter like an angry ex-wife and just started making accusations that don't even make any sense. So there's more testimony, including medical examiner details. The judge is going to decide if it moves to trial. There's no reason the judge would decide that this does not move to trial. The prosecutors are pushing for the death penalty on the aggravated murder charge. The worst thing about this situation, and it's absolutely heartbreaking that Charlie Kirk was murdered. It's absolutely heartbreaking. It's devastating to his family. It's devastating to our country. But we learned a lot of things. And one of the biggest things is that there's a society in our society that would cheer if you were killed. You. Me too. They would cheer just as hard if I was killed than as they did for Charlie Kirk. But you too, just because you're a conservative. Just because you don't align with their political philosophy. Just because you stand up for free speech. Therefore, you're a hate monger and should be killed. That was revealed with Charlie Kirk's murder. That number one, they're vile and disgraceful enough to do this. But then they'll celebrate it. Even if they don't have the nerve to go out there and do it themselves. When somebody else does it, they celebrate it. They martyr the individual that did it, and they make him a hero or a legend in his own mind, which causes more violence. This is one of the steps of Marxism. So that's what's going on. That's what we're covering. I can't wait to get to this section about Candace Owens. I can't. I think she's an absolute useless human being. I don't think there's many people in this world that are more useless than Candace Owens. She's been fired from every job she's ever had. Everybody has a problem with her. And I just think she has a significant and severe low IQ.
You are connected as the host.
I don't think
Welcome,
that she...
host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
I don't think she can do it. I don't think she can use her brain to put pieces together. Because what she needs to do now is damage control. Everything that she was just on Sean Ryan's show a couple of days ago, and she goes, Tyler Robinson wasn't even at the campus. I have a source that says Tyler Robinson wasn't even at the campus that day. Now, in this preliminary hearing, they release video footage of none other than Tyler Robinson being at the campus that day. Also, don't forget that this guy confessed and turned himself in to the police. Somebody who's being set up does not do that. It's not something that happens. So, in a case this serious, the assassinating of a leading conservative voice, we have to examine the gaps, the anomalies, and the questions that still need answers. Justice isn't served by rubber stamping. It's served by relentless scrutiny. Let's talk about the roommate and the DNA details emerging this week. Lance Twiggs is Tyler Robinson's roommate, right? Tyler Robinson's roommate, who is also, I guess, some sort of gender fluidity or whatever it is, or furry or something along those lines, where they're gender dysphoric and have a different gender, allegedly, than what they were born with. So Robinson's roommate, this Lance Twiggs, has his DNA as the major contributor on the rifle. The towel wrapped around it, and the screwdriver from the roof. Robinson is listed as a minor contributor on some of those items. Twiggs was granted limited use immunity and has been shielded from full aggressive cross-examination so far. That was the deal with Lance cooperating with the FBI in the beginning, that he would be given certain immunity. Now, does that mean he was involved at all? No. I mean, they lived together. They maybe shared a towel. God knows for what reason. I'm not interested in learning that. But they touched the rifle. They went shooting together. I mean, there's a million reasons your DNA can wind up on an item that's in your home. But it raises a legitimate question. In any other murder case, the person whose DNA dominates the murder weapon would be under intense scrutiny, not just a protected witness. Prosecutors are going to need to clearly explain this at trial. Why does this person have such an immunity deal? What exactly did Twiggs say or do? It's not a conspiracy theory. It's basic due process demands. They also have some issues with ballistic and trajectory. Reports indicated the ATF could neither fully match nor exclude the bullet jacket fragment from Charlie's neck wound to the recovered rifle. That's a hole. I mean, not in reality, but in the eyes of a jury, there's a hole in the case there. The medical examiner's testimony is going to have to put that piece together. I know that sometimes when somebody's shot, particularly when it hits a bone, and the entire round shatters into a million pieces and spreads throughout the body and up into the brain and down into the lungs, that you can't place it back into the rifle or trace it back to the rifle because the entire thing is shattered to pieces. If you took a glass and slammed it on the ground at, faster than the speed of sound, it would shatter into powder, and you wouldn't be able to tell what kind of glass it was. You may be able to test what the glass was made out of and maybe get some kind of idea of what round it is, but as far as actually tracing it to the rifle itself is going to be very, very hard. There's also been some camera malfunctions that are going to be an issue with the defense. And these are the things that Candace is amplifying. I was going to try to save Candace for more towards the end of the show, but I can't help myself. I think we need to dive into it now. Let's look at, hey, Michelle. Let's look at, I got some clips here. Let me pull this up. This is, man. We're going to look at some clips from the pretrial hearing today. Here is Charlie Kirk's mother and father. They have come into the hearing themselves. That's them walking in. Horrible. Erika Kirk was also there, but she also left the courtroom after they started showing the shooting and things like that. Tyler Robinson's parents were also there. Huge kudos to these people. Yes, huge kudos to Tyler Robinson's parents. They did an amazing job. They should not be vilified or for what their son did at all. The second they found out that it was his grandfather's rifle and his dad knew that Tyler Robinson had it, and once it was all over the news, the first thing that the Tyler Robinson's dad did is he confronted his son. And he said, "What the hell is happening? Why is your grandfather's rifle caught at the murder scene of Charlie Kirk?" I guess he allegedly denied it, and then eventually said that he did it. And the dad said, "Well, you got to turn yourself in. We're not going to have this any other way. You got to turn yourself in. You have to face this. You can't kill people." And then I guess they brought their pastor or minister or some spiritual leader over. Tyler Robinson threatened to kill himself. They talked him out of it, and they got him to turn himself in. They should be praised for this. Yes, their child did a horrible thing, but they themselves did not do a horrible thing. And once they found out about it, they didn't try to stick up for their son. They didn't try to cover it up. They didn't try to get rid of him. They didn't try to push back or support him, or they just said, this is wrong and you need to fix this situation. Here's the video that has not been released yet. You may be seeing it for the first time. This is the video of Tyler Robinson heading up to the rooftop.
Coming up the stairs of the parking structure. Again, he seems to be having issues walking.
If you see how he's walking. So what they're saying is the rifle is actually stuffed down his pant legs and up under his shirt. Or at least half of it, or a piece of it, because the screwdriver on the roof, he put it together or took it apart, one of the two, and he's walking in. This is him walking up before Charlie is shot. Students all around him. Don't forget, you can call into the show, 561-786-2916. Ask your questions, drop your comments, and we'll get to them when we can. So he's walking up the steps. This to me clearly looks like Tyler Robinson.
We're able to track Mr. Robinson when he leaves this parking structure.
Yes, we were able to.
Okay. So when he leaves the parking structure, where does he go?
He comes up around Campus Drive, as you can see on the video here. There is a cut through there north of the Losi building, and that's Mr. Robinson coming up the sidewalk. He has the noticeable gait or limp in his walk. And then he moves south across the front of the Losi building, coming up the stairs of the park.
So that video has never been shown in court before. But now they have him at the scene. They have him there. They have his car there. But here's Candace Owens. This is her in September of 2025.
In fact, according to my source, Tyler has never even stepped foot on UVU campus.
I mean, who is Tyler Robinson? What the fuck was he doing there?
I don't...
This is her on July 3rd. This is her a few days ago.
Do you think
Tyler Robinson was there?
You don't think he was there?
I think he's a total patsy.
Were you able to determine at what time or times Mr. Robinson
This is from the preliminary hearing.
visited the UVU campus on September 10th?
Yeah, we were able to establish that Mr. Robinson had been on campus approximately 4 times throughout the day.
That he had been on campus about 4 times throughout the day. But Candace is not. She's still tweeting about it. She's still tweeting about it. So here's the prosecution revealed that the cameras at UVU captured Tyler Robinson killing Charlie Kirk. The prosecution says that the cameras captured Tyler Robinson going to the sniper's perch, taking the shot at Charlie Kirk, and then running away into the wooded area. And then this also says, no wonder Crazy Candy, the bisexual cultist, is wetting her diaper. She's going to be in a lot of trouble. She is called significant and severe emotional harm, financial damage to the Kirk family, to Turning Point USA, to a lot of people. I believe in free speech. I do, right? You're allowed to speak your mind. You're allowed to say whatever you need to say. But you can't intentionally slander people. Candace knows what's going on. She's intentionally doing this for money. Candace does not actually believe in her heart of hearts that there's this conspiracy to kill Charlie Kirk. Let's watch this video from the pretrial today.
He then leaves the campus.
All of these videos never have good sound. Let me find another video. Never do they have good sound.
To the rooftop of the Losi building.
All right, here you go.
Top. Do you know how to gain access to the rooftop of the Losi building?
Yes, there's actually an outside stairway right here that comes up. It's going to be just to the south of Losi building. There's a red pathway right directly in the middle of the picture. Off to the south of that, on the left side of the picture, is an outdoor stairway.
Is that open to the public?
It is.
And how would someone access the roof from that stairway?
If they came up, they would put them right here on this pathway that goes between the Losi Center and down towards the computer science building. There's a red pathway. There's actually a little handrail, like a little guardrail, probably about a couple feet high, that somebody could jump over.
Is that area restricted? Is it off limits?
Yes, it is. There's kind of like a natural barrier with the guardrail, and from there on, there's no path. It's gravel roof, so it's not paved like everything else.
But someone could hop over that railway?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, officer. You can take your seat again.
Thank you.
Tyler Robinson's in a lot of trouble too. She's just getting roasted on Twitter, and rightfully so, but she's loving it because she's a psychopath. Candace Owens is a sociopath, psychopath. She's watching all of this and loving every second of it, and she doesn't understand the significant and severe financial harm that's going to come her way. So mark my words. You think Erika Kirk's not ready to drop a nuclear bomb of a lawsuit once this trial's over and Tyler Robinson is found solely responsible in the eyes of a court of law by a jury of his peers and gets sentenced to either life or death? I know Charlie Kirk believed in death penalty. I think this kid just got wrapped up, man. He got wrapped up in this psychopathic leftist radical ideology that everybody on the right hand of the aisle that speaks their mind is some Nazi that needs to be stopped at all costs. And Tyler Robinson's a victim too. And he thinks he's a hero. That's the problem with these leftist shooters. They think they're heroes, and why wouldn't they think that they're heroes? You shoot somebody, they praise you and they celebrate that person's death. And then you have a quote, leading conservative voice saying that you're innocent, coming to your defense, saying it's Israel. Get out of here, Candace. Freaking IQ of a mashed potato.
Well, let's go ahead and play it.
This is a video
associated with this.
Of Tyler Robinson's vehicle being shown. They followed it all the way. This is a Ring doorbell camera. Appears to be the same vehicle.
So in the first part of that video, what do you see?
The vehicle we believe to be driven by Mr. Robinson pulling up and parking in front of across the street, but in front of the residence.
Okay. And then in the next video, what do you believe is displayed in that video?
There's an individual who gets out of the vehicle. You can hear the door close, and then that individual moves away from the front of the vehicle. There's actually two reflective panels on a dumpster, and you can see the individual past those reflective panels.
And in the last of those series of videos?
The second to last one, the individual comes back across those reflective panels to the vehicle, unlocks the vehicle and gets into it. And then in the last video, the vehicle is started and the individual drives away.
I mean, all this stuff is very boring. I don't have to tell you that. It's been 8 hours every day with this case. The defense is trying, what the defense is trying to do is that they are going to try and make any hole that they can in the prosecution's phase. This is how our system works. You have a right to a defense, even Tyler Robinson, even Candace Owens. Everybody has a right to the defense, even the most staunchest communist or the hardest conservative. That's the way the system works, and that's how it should be. Like it, love it, or hate it, this woman is doing her job, and so far she's doing a pretty decent job. She's trying to limit the damage here. She's trying to keep out as much of this evidence as she possibly can. I mean, what can you do? There's mountains of evidence. The guy turned himself in. I don't see how Tyler Robinson is going to evade these charges. He very well may. You never know. I mean, look at O.J. Simpson. We've seen it before. But in conservative Mormon Utah, I'm not certain we're going to see that. Here is Tyler Robinson's attorney.
While you were on the roof, did you encounter any spent casings?
So here's what she's trying to do. Remember back when this happened, and I wasn't near my computer. It happened. The first thing I did was I text Matt Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show, and I said, "Hey, dude, I'm not at my computer. Charlie Kirk has just been shot. You need to get on the air right now and figure out what's going on." He jumped on the air. I text him, and I'm like, apparently they have somebody in custody. They didn't. They had somebody in custody, which they did, but they had the wrong person in custody. Now, she is trying to make the case that the original person that they had arrested is actually the person who did the shooting. Just listen to the questions. The first questions were there any spent shell casings on the roof? Every question that an attorney asks you is to set you up for something. No shell casings.
As a matter of fact, no. That's why when I saw the prone position where a person would be laying down as a sniper, being around guns and snipers all the time, I was looking for a spent shell casing. I couldn't see one. I was looking over the edge, looking all over the place, making sure the gravel wasn't disturbed, and I couldn't find a shell casing at that moment.
And that would be the reason you would be looking for that was because some types of guns, when they shoot, eject a casing automatically, right? Some do, some don't.
Yes.
All right. And then you also didn't find any unshot bullets.
No.
Okay. Are you aware of there being a bullet found on another roof?
I'm not aware.
Vicinity? Were you aware of another bullet being found on the scene, not on the roof of the Losi building?
No.
All right, your body cam footage that I reviewed appears to end while you're still on the roof. Do you know why that is?
I think the battery went dead. It was just right at that moment.
Okay. And do you know, did you ever turn it back on that day or go get it, I don't know, what do you have to do, charge it or stick a new battery in it? I don't even know.
Usually dock it, but no, I didn't go back. It was too chaotic running around.
So that 27-minute and 35-second body cam that starts when you're at the Hall of Flags and ends while you're still on the roof, but haven't put the crime tape up yet. That's the only body cam you have that day?
Yes.
You mentioned when you went to the police department, you watched the video where you saw an individual up on the roof,
yes.
Right? And that individual was in the vicinity where you saw the disturbance in the gravel.
Yes.
And when you looked at that video, were you able to identify the individual's face?
I know.
Were you able to identify any markings on their clothing?
I know.
Were you able to identify their height?
No.
When we looked at the picture of I think you called it the sniper perch. So I'm going to use your words. It looked like there was a measuring tape laid out next to it. Were you present when they measured, like The distance, like how tall that person would have been?
I was not.
So you don't know what that is?
I don't.
Were you able to tell the person's weight from the video that you saw?
I can tell he wasn't heavy set. So
Okay.
More of a.
Could you identify anything about a hat or what was on their head?
At the moment, no, I couldn't.
So basically what she's saying is, yeah, you went on a roof and there's no shell casings. And you couldn't identify my client, right? That's what she's saying. She's teeing this up. This is pre-trial. But what she's doing is trying to stop as much evidence from being admitted as possible. She knows it's going to go to trial. She's not going to be able to stop it from going to trial. I mean, the kid admitted it, allegedly. We're going to get to that. In Utah, I'm not sure if it's wise for him to take the stand in his own defense, but he may, which should be very interesting. There's also the text messages that they're going to have to overcome, where Tyler Robinson confessed to his gender dysphoric partner that he did do it, and it's because of all of the hate that Charlie Kirk spread was the alleged reason. So that she's going to have a very hard time keeping this kid from the death penalty. Maybe the best she can do is get him life without the possibility of parole, or maybe not. He is young. So let's watch a little more of this.
And did you see a gun in the video?
I saw a long black object in the left hand as he was running across the roof.
And in fact, did you describe that in your report as a bag?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why.
All right. Let's pull that report
He's super nervous.
back up, please. Oh, never mind. I don't think you mentioned what you saw. So in your report, pull that back up, please. Page 5 on the Bagley one. So looking at the second page, you're actually going to have to go to page 6, I think. You talk about what you saw on the video where they jumped off the roof. And again, I'm going to remind you of our conversation we had before about you understand how important these reports are.
Yep.
And do you mention anywhere in this report that you saw a gun?
I did not. I just had an object.
Did you mention that you saw that object? Is that on here?
Nope.
Okay, so you left that out. Now, have you looked at that over and over again?
The video? No,
Yeah.
I've only seen it twice.
Oh, really?
Yep.
When's the last time you saw it?
It's been months.
Okay. The last time you saw it, were you able to tell what that object was in his hand?
Yes.
Now-
Not tell what it is. I could see there's an object in that left hand. Yes.
And could you, knowing what you know about the case today, do you have an idea about what that object was?
It looks like a rifle or something to that effect. A long object.
It looks like a rifle?
Like a long object, like skinny and long. You can see it's like almost like it's covered over something.
So you saw the cover, which was the towel, right?
Yes, and the shape of it is long.
Okay.
You know.
So you can see a towel, but you can't see an actual
I don't know if
gun.
it was a towel or a blanket. I don't know what it was.
But you can't see an actual gun.
No, like an object, like a form of a gun, like a long object.
Okay. At the end of that day, what time did you leave the campus?
I was probably like 9 o'clock that night, maybe somewhere around there.
And did you come back the next morning and work some more?
I came back the next morning, yes.
And you worked all day the next day?
On and off.
When you left at 9 p.m., did you or anyone else know who the shooter was on that day?
I know. Not that I know of.
And when you came back the next morning and worked that afternoon, all that day, did you or anybody on that campus know who the shooter was?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So nothing that you found that day or anyone else to your knowledge on campus was able to identify who the shooter was?
That day, no.
Right.
Well, during the time I was there, no, that I knew of.
She's doing her job, and she's doing a decent one. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but she's going to do everything that she can to do. This was a viral video that went out. This is the judge looking at the actual video of Charlie being shot. If you have not seen it, consider yourself blessed. Do not go out and see it. It is absolutely heart-wrenching and horrific. It's nothing that you would think that it is. So this is the judge that's going to be over the trial. Apparently, I mean that could change, but I don't know if it is. And just look at his reaction to watching Charlie get shot. He flinches when Charlie gets shot. Watch. He's sitting over there watching it. He's very disturbed.
And that concludes State's Exhibit 8. Mr. Sturgill, may.
Horrible. Don't go watch it. It's not worth it. I watched it that day, and I said that I would never ever watch it again. Here is Tyler Robinson. This is back in December of 2025. He's always smirking and smiling. So far, he has not shown any remorse. What he has done is show how much of an animal that he is. I think we're all human beings. I think we all have souls. I think that inside of us, there's a battle. I think there's a spiritual battle that faces the earth on a daily basis, and that sometimes evil wins over people who are born pure. I think that people are born pure and they're corrupted by evil that is in this world. That's just something that I believe that aligns with my faith and my beliefs, but also with the evidence in the world. That a lot of really good, wholesome people turn into monsters from influence in this world. Here he is in December of 2025. Now, part of him, I'm sure, is very delusional. He's not very much in touch with reality. I'm sure there's a part of him that thinks he's actually just going to walk away from this. I'm sure he thinks about, oh, well, OJ got away with it. Oh, these other people got away with it. I have a good chance of getting away with it because he doesn't live in reality. And then I'm sure he knows Candace Owens is talking about his case, and even far-right conservative podcasters are calling me innocent. He's obviously not right in the head. He's not right in the head. And he probably thinks he's going to get away with it because he's a sociopath. Just smiling and laughing in court. Again, this is back in December. This wasn't recently. Not a good look that you want. Not a good look that you want at all. Erika Kirk did show up. She did not come through the main media line. This woman has, I have no words for what she has been through, or the fortitude that she has to keep pushing forward through it. It takes a lot for that. She was there. She was in the courtroom. The judge acknowledged her and said good morning to her. But she got up and left during a few observances of the evidence.
But I thought under the court's previous order that the media was not going to film exhibits. And they are filming the ones that are on that screen. So I guess I just need to clarify that, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
So what she's trying to do is keep, number one, all of the evidence that she can keep out of the trial, right? That's her job. Number two, she wants to keep it out of the court of public opinion because the jurors have not been selected yet. So now you have people like me that are broadcasting all of this evidence that everybody in Utah is watching and circling around and looking at it, and now you're going to have a quote-unquote corrupt jury or a persuade jury, depending on who they watch. So the jury selection is going to be interesting. The prosecution is going to want conservative. They're going to want conservative people who love and support Charlie Kirk. That's who they're going to be looking for. On the defense, they're going to be looking for conspiracy theorists who are going to align with Candace Owens and all these radical other morons that are out there and that are not in the spectrum but on it, right? And they're going to look for far left loonies that are soft to all of the super communist gender dysphoric ideology and other forms of inept thinking on the left side of the aisle. That's who they're going to be looking for, people who are sympathetic and empathetic to either some serious conspiracy where this kid's a passy and, oh man, oh, this poor kid, he's been set up, and people who really don't care, who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death anyway. That's who they're going to be looking for. And the jury is going to make this decision. The jury, it's not going to be the judge. It's going to be the jury. And the jury are the ones who are going to either condemn him or set him free. Here is Fox News reporting on the hearing. The footage is awesome because I guess previously they really kept it under wraps.
Fox News Alert, day 2 of the preliminary hearing for Tyler Robinson, the accused Charlie Kirk assassin. It's now underway. Charlie's parents and his widow Erika are back inside the courtroom, sitting together for the proceedings. And Robinson's parents were also there and were told they looked, quote, tired. Today, much of the focus was on piecing together video surveillance of the suspect's movements at Utah Valley University, starting with the arrival of the alleged killer on campus.
What are we seeing here, Agent Hall?
That's the vehicle that is believed to belong to Mr. Robinson arriving in the parking garage on campus.
At what time in the morning? What time of the day?
It's approximately 8:30 in the morning on September 10th, 2025. The driver of the vehicle exits the vehicle and then walks on foot to exit the parking garage. It's the individual in the red T-shirt and the shorts and shoes.
And do you believe you recognize who that person is?
Yes.
Who is that?
I believe that's Tyler Robinson.
Later in the testimony, we saw the moment the suspect began his rooftop escape.
Mr. Robinson lowering and jumping off of the roof of the Losi building onto the grass area, and then moving away towards Campus Drive.
Erika Kirk was holding a tissue up to her face during this testimony. Another witness we could hear from today, Robinson's former roommate and alleged romantic partner, Lance Twiggs. Prosecutors plan to introduce a recorded statement from Twiggs.
This person should not be given immunity. There's something there that just does not pass the smell test. It doesn't pass the smell test. Here is a clip from Newsmax. The evidence is interesting because this is a unique situation where we actually all get to see it.
You know, Tyler Robinson he has still not entered a plea in this case, and his attorneys, they haven't commented on his guilt or innocence. So, Randy, based on your legal experience, what's your read on this?
We are watching the government play chess while the defense is playing jacks. And the simple place to start is 99 times out of 100, you get charged with a crime, the government not wanting to give away its hand, not wanting to give you any evidence, not wanting to preview the case, presents the case to a grand jury. That is a secret proceeding. There's no defendant there. There's no judge there. It is the prosecutor and a bunch of citizens called grand jurors who listen, see evidence, and decide whether or not it is more likely than not that a particular defendant committed a crime. Secrecy is the critical piece here. Here, in the Tyler Robinson case, the government said, I don't really care. You can have all the evidence you want. You can cross-examine all the witnesses you want. You can have all the previews you want. In the state of Utah, we don't have to present the case to the grand jury and do it secretly. We can do it open and notoriously in front of a judge. We'll have a hearing. So that's what we're seeing here. The government is inviting not merely the defense to see the case, but the whole world to see the case. And the government is sending the message, take a look. This is a no-brainer. In fact, you don't need to have a pulse to know who committed this crime. And a judge is going to find probable cause in this hearing, and then this case will proceed to trial with the whole world knowing just how well armed this government is.
Maybe he'll plead guilty and they'll take the death penalty off of the table. That's definitely a possibility. Here's an even further close-up image of some of this new surveillance footage.
You believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And what do you believe is Mr. Robinson?
The shoes are the same, and the images that we have are from my viewing and seeing Mr. Robinson on the video, it's the same person.
Now, what do we see?
So it's Mr. Robinson coming up the stairs of the parking structure. Again,
you know, when they first released the video, not the video, the screenshot, and then they arrested the kid, I was like, man, that really doesn't look like him. And my antennas were up. But now that I'm seeing the actual moving video, I mean, it looks like Tyler Robinson.
Seems to be having issues walking.
And again, were you able to track? Were you able to track Mr. Robinson when he leaves this parking structure?
Yes, we were able to.
Okay.
And again, in the top left corner, the individual is now seen running across the rooftop of the Losi building to what would be the southwest corner of the building, crouching down and then crawling to the corner of the building.
We'll see if he takes a plea. I don't know if he will, because what he wants to do is just be as much in the limelight that he possibly can. But I mean, this whole scenario is an American tragedy. You have this young kid. You have a great mind like Charlie Kirk and a great voice for the American people, for God, for religion, for society to be better. But that all he wanted to do was just speak. That's all he ever wanted to do, was just speak. He wasn't a revolutionist. And then you have this young, impressionable kid who sounds like came from a loving and caring family, who was corrupted by this far left ideology and propaganda that consistently attempted to make Charlie Kirk look like a monster, to make people like us look like monsters, to make you look like an animal. And it was all done under our nose, and we didn't even see it coming. And then boom, out of nowhere, Charlie's just gone. He's gone. He was taken from his children. He was taken from his wife. He was taken from his business. He was taken from us. He was taken from the world. Because the left just doesn't like it when you speak. They don't like it when you oppose their brash authoritarian rule. They don't like it when you disagree. So they'll kill you over it. That's fascism. That's totalitarianism. That's communism. That's socialism. That's exactly what we're trying to prevent. I mean, I can honestly say there's nothing good on the left side of politics. Not anymore. There's nothing good on the left side of politics. If you disagree, drop a comment. Let me know what it is. Like, what's good about it? Abortion is horrible. Mass immigration without vetting people coming into our country is abhorrent. Persecuting online political commentators because of their opinion is horrible. Killing people is horrible. Celebrating the death of political opponents is horrible. I can honestly say there's nothing good on the left side of the aisle. But you can make the argument that there's a lot of good on the right side of the aisle, but we have our idiots too, but they're few and far between. Here's Candace Owens. Apparently, that the 4th of July, 1776, marks the date of the Boston Tea Party. I haven't seen this. Let's watch this clip.
We've been talking about a lot of bad. I think it's now time to talk about something good. You know what's good? The fact that the 4th of July is happening tomorrow. Well, it's not actually that good for me because my husband's English, so it's a very sensitive holiday in my household. But did you know anyways, because he's not watching, that 250 years ago, Americans revolted against imported goods at the Boston Tea Party? Unfortunately, over 85% of grass-fed beef sold in stores is imported from overseas today. We've been talking about a lot of...
Yeah, the Boston Tea Party was not on the 4th of July. It was not on the 4th of July. Candace. I don't know if you misspoke. I don't know if you... I mean, I know you're an idiot. I do know you're an idiot. You can come on here anytime. We will have a conversation. I'm not afraid of you whatsoever. Here is... Let's just pull up her Twitter account. And let's see what is going on today. It says Ben Shapiro tweeted this. Candace Owens isn't interested in uncovering the truth about Charlie's murder. She's generating smoke so that people will believe there's fire about Erika, TPUSA, etc. This is evil and it's working. She's poisoning brains at scale. Resist the conspiratorial arsenic. True. And then she retweeted it with a photograph of her, Ben Shapiro, and Charlie. I don't know what that does. And then she said, "Oh, the Mossad sent their midget horse. How sweet." Talking about Ben Shapiro. This is beyond parody. At the video of Tyler Robinson going up the square limping, saying that Tyler Robinson lost track of which leg was limping. Darn it. Was it the left or the right? Oh, I messed it up. Still, even with this evidence, Candace retweeted, he bent his leg. This is pathetic. This is her 3 hours ago. She's going ham. Every minute she's putting something else, trying to desperately save her business. I'm feeling like those pesky conspiracy theorists are going to be proven right again. That Lance Twiggs is going to be determined a federal asset who helped set Tyler Robinson up. And in the end, we'll learn that no gun was ever fired from the Lucy area. Charlie's mic exploded. It's a ridiculous. So she's trying to say that his microphone exploded and killed him. And she said, I'll add that multiple decoy boys wearing Marine shirts were crawling the campus that day. If I had to guess, I'd put my money on the conspiracy theorists every single time. So here's what she's talking about with the maroon shirts. So now apparently at the day that Charlie was shot, there was more than 2 people wearing a maroon colored shirt. So the maroon colored shirt is how they identify each other as a team. First of all, if you're going out on a hit or in an undercover operation, you don't all wear the same clothing. You don't all wear a uniform to point each other out, but she's just so far gone from reality. This is your daily reminder that the federal government hates us and thinks that we are retarded.
The alleged.
I hate you and think that you're retarded. I don't hate you. I'm just very disappointed in you. This is the video that she posted when she said this.
Is there any footage of the alleged shooting?
There is not, Judge.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Ms. Nestor, given that additional information and anything further from defense?
No, but I think I'd like to be crystal clear. You asked if there's any portion of this video that captures, and I believe you asked of the actual shooting. There's no video of that. There is video, however, and you've heard testimony related to this, where the shooter goes to the top of the low-C building, goes out to the edge of the building, low crawls, and then leaves after what.
So apparently, since there's not an actual video of him pulling the trigger, it's a government conspiracy. Here, she shows this. She just retweets everything. Oh, here, he's 5'10", but the person in the video is 6'1" or 6'2". How do you know that, Candace? What is wrong with you? She's had like 100 tweets today. This was my exact point. The person walking in the video they were presenting is very clearly a tall person, well above 6 feet. No way that this is a 5'10" or 5'11" person. How tall is Lance Twigg? Now we're going to try to say that Tyler Robinson is innocent and Lance Twigg is the actual person who set him up and is a Fed. Maybe, but our government is not that savvy. They're actually idiots. I used to work for them at very high levels. They're not. It's like the friggin' DMV. Congress is ran like the DMV. How do you think the CIA is ran? It's not any better. Or the NSA. You know, but there's a lot of things that Candace has just completely gotten wrong. Actually, she's gotten everything. I don't think she's gotten anything right. So this claim that this person is 6'2" is coming from the previous single low resolution frame that was sent out to everybody the day of the shooting. That was before this new video was released. The pretrial has basically debunked everything Candace Owens has had to say. And apparently she's not doing a show today. Apparently she's on vacation this week during the pretrial. I'm not sure if that's true. I just heard that somewhere. But that's just a little coincidental. Maybe she needs time to regroup. Maybe she needs time to come up with her next line of BS to feed to her simple-minded followers who actually believe this nonsense. And I don't mean to attack anybody, but I know it's fun and it's entertaining. And it's, oh, the grassy knoll. Oh, did you hear about that? No way he did that. There's no way this poor kid from Utah climbed that roof with a rifle in his leg. But, oh, you think we're idiots. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. As a police officer, I work murder cases all the time. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. The only time 3 people can keep a secret is if 2 of them are dead. To pull this operation off and put an explosive charge in his microphone, it's because, so here, I'm not going to show the video, but in the video, before his whole shirt goes up, blows up in the air, and then he gets hit and it comes down. because the velocity of the round is so strong that that's what it does. It pushes all this air forward, and then it hits and it stops. So what happens is everything else keeps moving forward, and the shirt blows up in the air. So they're trying to say that the reason that happened is because the microphone exploded, which is just nonsense. It's because you don't know anything about firearms. You don't know anything about ballistics. You've never seen anybody be shot. She's also saying that because the majority of the DNA in the rifle is Lance Twiggs, the real perpetrator is Robinson being framed. Twiggs is a major contributor on some items and has a limited immunity, which warrants scrutiny. I mean, I don't like that. However, if they wanted to, for whatever reason, and I think it should be made public, they wanted this person to be given some sort of immunity because maybe they needed him to testify to certain things like the text messages or turn over the text messages. Maybe he said, well, I have text messages of him admitting it, but I'm not giving them to you because I don't want to be implicated. And he got a lawyer, and his lawyer went to the FBI and said, listen, you give my client immunity, he's going to cooperate with you. Tyler Robinson is the person who did it, and we're going to put him away forever. We're going to help you do that. And it's a very high-profile case, and the FBI just wants it done. They want it closed, and they want to move on. They want the political pressure off of their back. Possible that this person was more involved than they say. I mean, I have that suspicion too, but it doesn't mean that they are. It doesn't mean, you know, not every time somebody gets killed or somebody with some sort of political authority gets killed, we're all human beings. None of us are untouchable. None of us are untouchable. You know, we tend to think that with these big names and they're out in public. And oh my goodness, Trump almost got killed on like 3 separate occasions. I mean, they clipped his ear. Do you think the prosecution will bring in an expert on the I don't know what you mean by that. I think they're going to bring in experts. I mean, it's all about getting the jury, the right jury in. That's going to be, you know, I hate to say they're going to be pro Turning Point USA, but that's who they're going to be looking for. And they're everywhere in Utah. It's radical Christian country, man. That's what's there. This is not New York City where there's people who are just super anti Charlie Kirk. They're out there. Oh, on the pew pew. Do you think that the prosecutors will bring in an expert on the? Yeah, I think they're going to bring in ballistic experts. It's going to be hard. I mean, I don't know what type of round he used. You know, one of the rounds he wrote on them, or somebody wrote on them, and it says, "Hey, fascist, catch." You know, this kid is not like a good shot. He completely missed. He was aiming for his head, and he's like 3, 4 inches, 6 inches low from 100 yards, which is pathetic. You should be putting every round in the size of a friggin' dime at that distance. But, you know, he just got lucky. It went low. He pushed the trigger, or he didn't have it sighted right, and, you know, it's not far enough for the windage to really affect it. So it just landed in the right way. And, you know, they're going to be able to tell all of that. They're from the footage alone, you can measure the impact. You know, the type of round, you can measure the impact. I mean, they have the shell casing. They know what kind of round it was. But it just shattered into a million pieces. It hit him in his spine. It severed his spine. I mean, he was dead instantly. I saw the video and I knew it's over. There's no recovering from that. And then he got to the hospital and they're like, we have a pulse. And I mean, when they said that, I said, I mean, I was texting with Matt from the Don't Unfriend Me show because he was live and I wasn't there. I wasn't by my computer and I was just texting him. And I actually sent him the video and I was like, do not put this out on the air. I sent it in a different, because I'm in the show for the group chat with the girls out of it. And I said, not looking good, man. He's gone. He was gone when they dragged him to the car. Maybe a little bit of consciousness, but it was over very quick. It was over very quick. Good for Charlie. But I mean, you know, it's like the assassination of Martin Luther King. I mean, it's that big. It's that big, or JFK. I have no doubt Charlie Kirk was going to be president of the United States one day, or very, very close to it. Very close to becoming president of the United States. He already had what was he, 33? He was 33 years old, and he could pick up his phone, and the president of the United States would answer. Because without Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump would have not gotten elected. Charlie Kirk brought the youth vote. He brought the college kids vote. He made a major, you could argue that he made a bigger impact on American politics than anybody in American history. Literally. And they took him. They took him from us for trying to speak the truth. They took him from us for preaching the gospel. There's an aversion to that if you have evil in you. But I mean, you know, he's bigger than he ever will be. He'll never be forgotten, that's for sure. They'll be teaching that in history books for the next 100 years. The evidence does not look good for Tyler Robinson. It doesn't look good for Candace Owens, who's just a pathetic trash pail of a human being. She knows Charlie Kirk. She knows Erika Kirk. She used to work for them. She got fired. Then she got fired from Daily Wire because nobody wants to hire her. And all she does now is on this huge vengeance trail and this trail of animosity to get back at Erika Kirk, who's really the one who pushed Charlie to fire her. I mean, she's a garbage pail. She's useless. Hey, we're all kind of united on that. I think you have a right to say what you want to say. My issue is I don't think she actually believes what she's spewing, which is a problem. I really do not think that Candace Owens believes her own BS. I think that it's willful. It's intentional. It is specifically designed to produce as much money as it can in her pocket. Everybody's talking about Candace Owens right now. Everybody. Number one topic on Twitter. Like number one in the news cycle. I'm talking about her. Everybody. Ben Shapiro did a whole series about her today. Listen to it. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to like the first 10 minutes. And, you know, free speech, say what you want to say, and you should be doing it without fear of persecution, but you can't be doing it maliciously, intentionally harming people. Free speech is designed to protect you from the government. From government persecution. You know, but I mean, a widow, accusing a widow of being involved in her husband's murder without any evidence, without any reason showing it, that's what's going to happen. Might plead guilty. You might see a guilty plea here in exchange for life in prison. I don't know. Charlie was a huge supporter of the death penalty. Huge. So the prosecution is going to go to Erika Kirk and they're going to say, listen, he's going to plead guilty and we're not going to go after the death penalty. What are your thoughts about that? And I don't know what she's going to say. I would imagine, knowing Charlie's stance on the death penalty, that she might say, no, take it to trial. I don't care about the state's money. I'll pay you. I'll give you $1 million to put this guy in prison for 10 years, being passed around from cell to cell by Bubba and the boys before he gets tied to a wall and killed by a firing squad. I don't know what she's going to say. She might have a little bit of a softer heart. But, you know, I think that's it for the show. We're way over on time. But we're going to continue to follow this. This is not over. With all of this evidence, I would not be surprised if he pleads guilty. They move on, and he gets put away forever, and he's just another high-profile prisoner. And I hope that he repents, and I hope he gets exposed to a little bit of reality, which I'm sure he is now. But he seems to just enjoy it every single time that he comes out. Don't forget to go to ryanfsamuels.com. Subscribe. It's free. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You give me your email. I send you news articles. I send you letters. I have an article about this whole pretrial thing that I'm going to publish right after I hang up and end this show. Make sure I read it. They're good stuff. I put a lot of time into it. It takes me kind of all day to write. And it gets you notified. If something ever happens and they shut down my page, you have access to my content. If you're here, you like it, and you enjoy it, and you don't want it to go away and be subject to cancel culture, I need to be able to contact you when these things happen. I don't email. I'm not going to email you. I'm not going to sell your information. It's just going to be, when I publish an article, you get a notification and it says, hey, Ryan Samuels sent you this article. What do you think? You can unsubscribe at any time. Try it out. You might like it. You might love it. You might hate it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a good writer. But thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And we are live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. If you are on the podcast and you are listening to the podcast, leave a review. Give me a 5-star review. These lefties go on there and they give me 1 star. This guy's not a real military veteran. Yes, I am. This guy doesn't speak the truth. Yes, I mean, I do. I've been wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. I do my best to speak the truth. I seek the truth, which is the purpose of this. But RyanFSamuels.com. Ted Nugent wants you to subscribe. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And God bless Turning Point USA and the Kirk family. See you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss it. Good night.
Thanks for tuning in to The Ryan Samuels Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.